for a period of about 2 weeks, were able to learn important and practical teachings, and were able to go out and outreach to several communities, visiting schools, communities, helping local churches, building a roof for a children's dining hall, and several other projects. And this was the first of many to come. Our hope with our mission schools is to provide unique, on-site, practical training for young adults to raise up the next generation of missionaries to wherever God may call them. We are preparing to launch another 2-week mission school, as well as a 3-month mission school in the coming year. As the National Youth and Young Adults Director, I also have the privilege of serving local churches and leaders by organizing and leading leadership conferences, workshops, youth conventions, youth camp, and discipleship training. Following our national church's mission, I seek to develop strategies, resources, and opportunities to equip this generation to love God and love others. Our mission consists of equipping leaders to help youth know God, grow in their faith, and to be a part of sharing Jesus' ministry of reaching others. Recently, I have launched the first couple of discipleship materials that will be used all over South America. Partnering with one of the leaders from Peru and another from Colombia, we have launched a South American support network for adolescent ministry. All national youth leaders and several local leaders have now joined the project to create an arsenal of resources, materials, leadership training, and other useful tools. Our hope is that youth ministries across South America will be equipped with the tools and training they need to effectively reach and raise up youth. Miller Missions would not be possible without the support of incredible people such as yourselves. So I would just like to take a moment to say thank you to everyone who has been part of ministry over the years, by being part of the missions teams throughout the years, through financial support, and through your prayers. Our prayer moving forward is to continue to do what God has called us to do here in Paraguay, and we are excited to see where God takes each one of these projects next. Thank you for watching this presentation, and please remember to keep the Miller family in your prayers. We love you guys. God bless.
I know Kyle and Danny and Seth have been here as well, and we decided that beginning this year we would just change everything from Kyle, Danny, and Seth, and Danny and Glenn, and just make it Miller Missions, right across the board. Since almost everything we do in Paraguay we do together. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to serve the Lord in this manner. We're nothing special. We simply found what the Lord wanted us to do, and that's what we're trying to do. Nothing else. Are there any questions this morning? Anybody have a question I'd like to answer to? This is going to be easy. I'm going to meet my goal at exactly 12 o'clock.
David, would you share the tiny home concept with the templates to build those? How many you built and what your projected numbers will be?
Let me give you a little bit of history on the tiny homes then. We had a mission team come down from Canada, which included my pastor, Pastor Dan Chapman, and his wife. And while they were there, we did a walk around in our community and seen some pretty impoverished people. I don't like to call them poor. That's a relative term. I like to call them more needy people. And when Dan's wife, Lori, saw the state of which they were living in, she looked at her husband and said, "We've got to do something. We're going to do something." And that began the whole plan of building small homes for families. Since then, I believe it was 2015 that was, we have built 51 homes to date. We fund all those homes and we give them to the people. They're not required to pay rent or anything, they belong to them. We do brick and mortar homes, and we've also began this past year doing a prefab home that we build in our shop and then disassemble it because it's all put together with bolts, put it onto a truck and truck it to wherever we're going, and then carry it piece by piece to the people who are going to receive that house and reassemble it there. One of the things I like about the prefab is if that family, for whatever reason down the road, needs to leave the property they're on, they can literally unbolt it and take their home with them. They would have to get a truck to do that, but that's pretty cool. If it was a brick and mortar house, it would have to stay. So that's how the ministry got started. Our goal originally with Pastor Dan was 100 homes. That was what we were targeting. We're at 51 now, as I said. We have another church, an organization that has offered to fund and size to build an entire community. And we are looking for a piece of property that we can do that with. They've already sent the funding in for it. We just have to find a piece of property that has a title and deed on it. We've looked at several, and they all say they have titles and deeds until we get to the lawyers. And then we find out they don't. So we're looking for that property now, and the goal is to build 70, 80, 90, 100 homes on that piece of property, put in a grocery store. We want to build a shop right in the center where we can actually build the homes, and then once the homes are done, convert the shop to a church, so that in the center of the community we have a local church as well. So that's our goal for that.
Amen.
Anything else specifically you wanted about that question?
Just, I shared with them about the lady that you took us out to that had a curtain for a door.
Yeah. Yeah, some of them live pretty rough. Some of the homes, as you saw the coconut homes, you can literally put your arms right through the walls. When it rains, with the wind, it blows right through the walls. It soaks everything they have, and after every rainstorm, they have to take it all outside and hang it all out and dry it all out again. And some of them have grass roofs, some of them have roofs with pieces of plastic and tin and stuff like that. And most of the time the roofs leak, like the one you saw there, Paulette and her family.
Dirt floors.
Dirt floors, most of them. It's just a wonderful blessing to be able to help them.
One of the things that I thought about when we were doing that was because they had cloth homes, a lot of these women don't have men that live with them.
No.
And that being able just to have the door to shut and feel safe in, that
All of
is big.
A large majority of the people that we have blessed with these homes are single moms. Many of them have children. As the second Belen that you saw, it was her 2 boys, and she was looking after her father and her grandfather on top of that. And again, just a curtain or a piece of blanket for a door. No security whatsoever, so we decided right from the very beginning we would put on steel doors and steel frame windows to give them protection as well.
That's not to keep people from stealing from them.
No,
That's
that's to
to keep
protect
the
mom.
men in the community from stopping by anytime they want to.
What
And
is
with the brick and mortar homes, we put in a concrete floor, and with the prefab, we put in a steel structure floor with 5/8 plywood on the structure. And one of the things that we really enjoy doing that part of the build is because a lot of these kids are sleeping on the ground, and so their bodies are full of all kinds of parasites and worms and stuff like that. You can stand there and look at them, and you'll see the worm tracks all up and down their legs and their sides, and so that you get them off the ground, and all that begins to heal.
What's the cost of approximate one home?
2024 cost was $3,200 per home. When we started in 2015, it was $1,000 per home. Like here, everything's gone up. So right now, our actual budget is $3,200 per home. Whether it's the prefab or the cement and mortar brick, the prefab has a lot less labor, but the materials are more expensive. And the cement and brick home has a lot cheaper materials, but the labor is more expensive. So it works out to be about the same. This past year, 2024, we built 9 homes.
Are these homes all the same size, or can they vary?
They vary between 3 meters, we'll say 10 feet by 20 feet, or 12 feet by 20 feet. And the reason we build them all that size is because all the steel comes in 20-foot measurements, 6 meters.
That's about the
So
size of our building out here in the parking lot.
It saves us a lot of labor from the cutting and welding, but it also saves us from having next to no scrap by the time the home is done. By the time we're done, I can load all the scrap into a wheelbarrow and wheelbarrow away. Everything we take is used. So just a side note on that, I have several missionary friends from other organizations, and one of them at the beginning of 2024 knew we were doing the homes. He's been to the homes, he's visited them. He lives in North Carolina, just over by Charlotte. And he wrote me and said, I'm going to Africa to help the ministry build some small homes. What are the possibilities of you sending me all your plans? I sent all my plans, and so now there are homes in Africa being built to the same plans that we used in Paraguay. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We're cutting into your lunchtime. Yes.
So who designed the homes?
I designed them.
Okay,
Yes.
and then the labor, who do you have besides yourself to put these homes together?
I have 3 guys that work with me full time, and this past year, that's all we did was build homes basically. They're 3 really good guys. They're all neighbors, and when we have mission
donation. They just get it filled for a rock.
We're still doing mission teams. If any of you are interested, you're more than welcome to put a team together. If you don't have enough people to put a team together, you're more than welcome to join another team that's coming later on in 2025. We have 3 or 4 teams in the works right now. If there's interest, you can let Maria know, and she can let me know. We can coordinate.
The tiny homes look rudimentary, but the university student dormitories, some of those same men built that.
They did. On the dorm building, I had 23 people working full-time at one point. The dormitory took 7 years to build. It's between 17,000 and 18,000 square feet in size. What'd you say?
In spite of the government.
In spite of, I'll hold my comments. We had 15, we opened this past year, we had 15 students, full-time students in our dorm. We need to have at least 20 to break it even, and we have enough room for 120. So if you would help us pray for another 15, 20 students this year on top of the ones who are staying. And my hope is that we can grow by 15, 20 students each year until we fill it. Or if God wants to fill it completely, that's just fine with me too.
When the Lord decided to send my wife and I here, we see what God would do if you just turn over to Him through this man right here.
We all turn to weepers when we're overdoing. Any other questions?
Not a question, really. It makes me think of the people in western North Carolina,
Yes.
Tennessee, and it makes me think of them.
I said to Bill last night, if I was here, that's exactly where I would be. And I know you guys are helping. I know you guys are doing a wonderful work and sending supplies and generators. And she was telling me all the stuff you guys are doing. I'm so grateful for that. So grateful that you guys are stepping in and helping. They're going to need help for a long time to come, too.
They really need manpower,
Mm-hmm.
is what they really need. We just have to pray for manpower.
Yes.
It's going to take a lot of people.
It's going to take a lot of people, a lot of time. A wonderful testimony I was sharing with Bill and Gerald last night that I saw. There was an organization, I think it's called Houses for Christ or something, Homes for Christ. And they went up there and were starting working there. And there was a group of a bunch of Amish Mennonites who came down from Pennsylvania. And the last video I watched on that particular ministry, they joined forces. And Homes for Christ are supplying the homes, and the Amish are building the homes. I thought, what a wonderful thing. What a great testimony.
Yes.
There's a testimony.
Loving God and loving people.
Anyone else?
What about power grid? Do these little homes have power in them or anything?
We put the power in. If they have power there, we connect the power. If they don't have power, they'll do without power. We also put the bathrooms in and the plumbing in as well, depending on what they have and what they don't have. In Valen's case, we ran about 1,000 feet of water line to connect to the community water system, and they gave her the outdoor bathroom. All of the homes this year didn't want the bathrooms inside, they wanted them outside. Because if we do the outside bathroom, we also install a laundry sink for them. And that's where they wash the dishes, do all their laundry, and use the bathroom, the shower, and the toilet. A fun story, we built a prefab home for an older couple living in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we had to get the truck so close, and then we had to literally carry the walls and the roof and the pieces all one at a time over 100 yards to get to their house. They were just in the middle of nowhere. And we built the house and we built the bathroom beside it. And as they're building the bathroom and finishing up the last details, the man that we're going to gift this house to, he comes up to Rubio, one of my workers, and he said, "How do you use that?" Pointing to the toilet. Never had one. Never used one. It's unbelievable the fact of it. So my guys had to show him, literally, how to use it. It's wonderful. But it was also the